Hello, my name is Alexia Train. I'm sitting here with Salvador Train, my dad. The date is December 9th, 2018, and we're recording this interview in Chicago, Illinois. Okay. Um, when and where were you born?
I was born October 6th, 1985, and I was born in St. Francis in Evanston, Illinois, just north of Chicago. Um, I lived, my parents lived in Chicago, but, you know, St. Francis is like the next suburb right after, on the north side, right after Chicago. So I was born in Evanston, but all my life lived in Chicago.
What was it like growing up in Chicago?
Um, Man, from what I remember, like which I remember a lot, um, it was it was different. It was nothing like it is today. Um, I remember being living on Clark Street, maybe being 5, 6 years old, going with my friends outside and playing and running around all over the parking lot and just worry free. I remember like there was never any type of any worries about anything or anybody. Not like nowadays where you know you start thinking, oh, I can't let my kid out because there's gonna be gunshots or they might kidnap him or stuff like that. I just remember as far as nothing but good memories.
Did you have a nickname and how did you get it?
I've always had Chava. It just came. It comes with the name. Every person named Salvador is it's just like your name is Robert, your nickname is gonna be Bob. It's just something that came along with it.
What kind of student were you?
Um, the type of student I was always a class clown, always making everybody laugh and joking around and um I would get distracted a lot. I would distract a lot of my classmates, but I was always laughing. I was always um you know just trying to make everybody laugh. Just that's I guess I never really took school seriously. But you know I liked school, but it was just not for me, I guess. But as far as a student, I mean, I was respectful. I was I do my work whenever I wanted to, not all the time, obviously. But yeah, I would say class clown if I had to pick one word.
What advice would you give to your teenage self?
Um, you know what? I would I would listen to my parents. I would listen to my parents. Um, you know, I was a teenager, and they would tell me, Chava, you need to do everything positive. You need to, you know, you should take school seriously. You should um, try to get a career. You should, everything as far as like, you know, they tried to guide me, or they did. But I always, thought I was, a grown up. I thought I could do whatever I want, say whatever I want, do whatever I want, and yeah, I never listened really. I mean, I did what I wanted to do. I'm not a horrible person, but boy, do I wish I listened to them. Cause you know, now the way I see it is like, man, had I listened to them, I probably would have had a career. I probably would have been somebody instead of working my butt off all day, you know, for peanuts pretty much. And yeah, that's the listen. Listen to your mom and dad. They know what's best for you. That's the main thing. Because I'm pretty sure if I did listen to them, I mean, I'm not well off, but I'm not bad either in life right now. But I just, I would love to see how maybe if I did listen to my parents, maybe how successful I could have been. They say a mind's eternally waste, so definitely, I think I would do that. Listen to my parents' advice.
Um, what did you think your life would be like when you were young?
Oh man, like as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
I had dreams of being like a lot of things actually. Um, I had I had dreams of. I didn't really have exactly one thing, but I did know that I wanted to. I wanted to like make so much money to to the point where I could give my parents their own home, give my parents whatever they wanted, whatever they needed, so they won't have to work no more. Um, uh, I remember as a little kid, like my passion has always been basketball. Telling my father, like, man, I want to become a basketball player. I used to play every day, all day, um, and I remember always like thinking, like, but as a kid, everything just was so easy to me. Like, it'll come to me, and I mean, later on in life, I learned a little bit late, I guess, and the hard way was not everything comes to you. Not anything comes to you. You gotta work hard for it. Whatever you want, it's not impossible. It's not. It sure ain't impossible, but you gotta work hard for it. And I guarantee you, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to be, um, you definitely will accomplish that. So yeah, I just want to be well off. That's all I cared about. I wanted my mom, and my dad just well off, and whatever it was, I didn't care. I just didn't want them to be working hard, and I didn't want them, to. I wanted them to live life. That was my dream.
Do you remember the first time you saw your child for the first time? Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. Um, it was it was it's unexplainable. It was like a surreal moment. It was like, wow, is this my child? Like like here I am, 16 years old, and you know, looking at my daughter. The first thing I thought was like, wow, she's beautiful. Like, is this mine? Mine? She's my daughter, but it just I remember telling myself when I seen you that I would I would I promised myself that I would give my child everything and anything, the best of the best, you know. Um, um, I remember saying too, like, man, time is gonna go so slow. Like by the time I felt like you were always gonna be that baby. Like you weren't gonna grow out of that, but obviously 15 years later, boy, was I wrong, you know. But yeah, I'm like, wow. I looked at my baby in her eyes, and I'm like, man, she's beautiful. Um, wouldn't never cry. Didn't even cry. I remember, didn't cry. Did cry in the hospital. You were probably cold, but once you got home, you were like, you never thought there was a baby in the house. But yeah, I remember thinking just how beautiful we were, just how like it was just like surreal. Like this can't be it. Like wow. Like but I remember being excited. I remember being excited too. Like just to see my kid, my daughter grow up. You know, I wonder like who's she gonna look like. You know, is she? You know, I'm like one of the things I thought I'm like she better be a daddy's little girl. Definitely.
How has being a parent changed you?
Dramatically, dramatically, and I don't even mean financially. I don't mean you know uh what I mean is like dramatically was when you were born. You know, I dropped out of high school. I dropped out my sophomore year, after my sophomore year, and you know, I had to grow up fast. I had to grow up fast. My parents, your mom's parents, were there to guide us. Um, and I remember I had to drop out. I didn't have to. I decided to drop out. I started working. I started working. Um, I would work, and because I felt like, who's gonna take care of my daughter? Who is? You know. I didn't want to know who would. I didn't want to see if anybody would step up. I felt like the only person to step up or should step up was me. So, um, it changed me a lot. Definitely, while my friends were being teenagers and doing teenage things, I was working. I remember, I was 16, 17. I was, everybody still, they were still going to school. 18, they're going to prom, and here I am working. Um, I don't regret anything. Um, it's more like it helped me, it's something that I've told you before. You made me a man, like, a man at just 16. Like, I was far advanced out of all my friends, all my peers, While they were going to school, I was working. While they were partying, I was, you know, with your mom, and and just we had a family, raising a family, and but definitely it was traumatic, but I thank God for I wouldn't change anything because you know I don't think I'd be here. I don't think I'd be here. I'd probably be, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't be alive, or I'd probably be in prison. To be honest with you, if I was still going on the road before you came in, before we found out you were gonna be born, I was up to no good. So, um, if there's anything that like God sent me, it was my daughter, an angel, to change my life around because, um, I was going on the same path as a lot of my cousins, and I got a lot of cousins who are in the prison system or have been, and a lot that lost their lives either to the streets or drugs. And I honestly thank God for that because If it wasn't for you, think I know. I don't think I know. I wouldn't. I just I wouldn't be here.
If you could do it over again, how would you raise me differently?
Um, I just I would do everything different. Everything different in raising you. You gotta understand. I was just 17 when you were born. 16 when I found out you were pregnant, and 16 when I dropped out. But I was 17 and fresh 17, and I was just a kid. Um, I mean, I grew up with both my parents. I always wanted to give you the same. How do you say it? I wanted to give you what I had and then some. I wanted to give you, you know, something better, way better than me. That's something I've always lived by every single day. It's giving you um, something way better than what I what I had. I don't care what it is. Um, but the see, and when I say that I was just a kid, I mean I knew what's right from wrong, but I'm 33 years old now, and I could tell you that at 17, what I know now, I didn't know not even a quarter, not even 5% of what I knew when I was 17. I thought I knew everything. Nobody could tell me nothing at that age, because I knew everything according to me. I was wrong. I didn't know nothing. I was just a kid having a kid with your mom, and I definitely would do everything differently because I think my life would have came, and not just mine, yours. Your life would have come a little different. You know, I would definitely. But if I had to like something specific, it'd be the way I raised you. I remember being just so strict with you, just being immature. I was. Although I gave you everything, like my parents gave me everything materialistically. Now that I'm grown up, it's like, man, I would trade that like for a hey son, how was your day at school? Like my parents never asked me that. Um, is everything okay? Are you getting bullied? I mean, I was never bullied, but you know what I'm saying. I never had like that sense of security from my parents. Like, hey, we're here no matter what. I mean, I was giving you that, right? But just the way I raised you, I know, like, I mean, I'm proud. I'm proud of you. That's nothing. That's not the question. It's just like I remember just being so strict. I remember being so like at that moment I was like always mad at the world. I always like I felt like I always had something to prove to somebody. I don't know what and I don't know who, but that's how it was. Like you know, but you know, your mom and I did a good job, but I believe that I'm to blame for think I could have done better, but you know what? The way you came out, like I said, I'm proud of you. I wouldn't change anything on how you came out, but definitely how I parented you, like how I treated you, how I was with you. I felt maybe I would neglect you, and that's something that that's something I gotta live for the rest of my life. But um, uh, I've come to terms that you can't change the past, but you sure could change yourself to change the future. And um, I, if you ask me this on May 3rd, 2003, if you ask me that if you become one of my best friends, I would tell you I don't think so. You become one of my best friends, somebody who I could come up to, somebody, somebody that I'm proud of. I look at you and I couldn't be more prouder of my daughter.
Um, of all the people you lost in your life, who do you miss the most?
Um, uh, my cousin, my first cousin, his father, my father are brothers. I grew up with him. Um, eh, um, he saw you when you were a baby. He saw you. Um, he he would come into the room, and any room, you knew he was in there. He glowed up. He didn't have to say a word, and you knew he was in the room. He, as a little kid, I looked up to him. I wanted to be like him. Everything he did, everything he said. Um, you know, he uh, he was a big influence in my life. You know, uh, my cousin Louis. Uh, Unfortunately, he chose to live of game banging and being in the streets of Chicago, and you know, he you were a little girl. You were probably like Sammy's age, and you know, Sunday afternoon he goes to a park and goes to play basketball, and he's in the wrong neighborhood, and, and they confront him about it. They know he doesn't belong there. And one thing led to another, and he was shot 3 times. And he went into coma. And October 4th, he got shot September 17th, I still remember, if I'm not mistaken. It was a Sunday. And on October 4th, he expired, passed away. About a couple weeks later, in coma and surgery. And October 6th, 2005, on my birthday, we buried him. And I miss his laugh. I miss him making us laugh. Um, Earlier I spoke about basketball, how that was my passion. Um, I got it from him. He used to take me as a little kid to the park, go play basketball. He used to go play with the. I was just a little kid. I must have been 7, 8 years old. He was already 14, 15, so he was playing with the 15 years old, the teenagers. And here I am, wanting to play with them. He's like, you can't. You're a little kid. They're gonna hurt you. But yeah, I miss him the most. And I tell you what, I'm not the only one. I can speak for all the family, the whole family train. We miss him a lot. It really hit us home. It really hit us hard. Um, he's he was special. And, I think about him every day. Every day. I miss him a lot.
How would you like to be remembered?
You said what now?
How would you like to be remembered?
Um, Man, you know what? I've always said like, cause I know I'm a strong character. Like people would say I'm mean or look mean, and I might agree with them. I just might. I might, cause I have no patience. I have, okay. So, but if there's anything like, I've always said this too. I've said this many, many, many times. I don't care about that, because when somebody dies, everybody all of a sudden somebody dies, and they were just an angel. I tell you what, I'm not an angel. I'm not the worst either. But I just want to be remembered as somebody who did everything for his kids, everything possible to like make sure they have everything, nothing's missing. Um, that they, uh, that my kids, you know, learn from me. I just want to be known as, you know, I want them. I want to be remembered like Salvador was somebody who tried it best at being the best father he could be. I've made my mistakes, um, and it's never too late. It's never too late because I grew up with both my parents, but both my parents always worked. They were never home. Um, uh, now that I'm older, I'm like, yeah, they gave me everything. Put a roof on my head, over my head. They put food on the table. They clothes on my back. But you know, something I always yearned for was like, hey, are you okay? Or how was your day? What did you learn today? You know, um, but yeah, I just, not that it makes them a bad parent, because they're not. But I just want to be remembered as somebody who, a great father. I don't care about personally, because everybody's gonna have something to say about you, whether it be negative or positive. I just want them to know that I want to be remembered as you know I gave my all. I did my all for my kids, and that's all I care about. Really, that's something that I always tell you: family first, always, always, always. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it will be. That's the way it is. Family first.
Do you believe in an afterlife? And what do you think it'll be like?
I do. I do. I'm not the most religious person. I don't go to church, but I was born in church, and when I was born, my parents were actually I'm sorry, Catholic. They were Catholic, and maybe about the age of 6, 7, they're going to a Christian church. I'm a little kid. I don't know nothing. I wouldn't really, pay attention. I'm a little kid, but as I grew older in church, one of my parents, I came to the realization. Well, I seen that God, Jesus does exist. God exists. You know, Jesus came to die for us for our sins, and because of that, I do believe that there is a heaven. and there is an afterlife, and where there's, I believe that there's, you know, says it in the Bible. So how can I not believe it? Um, there is a heaven where there's no pain, there's no crying, there's no murders, no nothing negative. Everything is good, and, and yes, I do believe in the afterlife. I do believe that, you know, um, I do believe that that it's nothing but you know nothing but how can I say it? It's worry free. That's what that's the heaven that I vision, worry free, and being in the glory of God. So yeah, I do believe in God. I do believe in the afterlife, and I do believe in heaven. I do believe that when you pass away, there's 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 there is a heaven, definitely.
If you knew this was going to be our last conversation, is there anything you would want me to know?
Um, I would want you to know that I I love you a lot. Um, I know you know that. Um, but I was once your age, and I even knew that. You know, I knew my parents loved me. Of course, they showed it to me. I guess you know. Um, but at that age, I guess I didn't really comprehend. You know, I didn't. I didn't. It didn't. I wouldn't wrap that around my head that I was I was loved by them. Um, you know, up until I became an adult, I became a father, I became, and the years passed by, and I'm, wait a minute, my parents did everything for me. They sacrificed everything. You know, like my father was gone 4 or 5 in the morning every morning, and come back home like 8 o'clock from work. I didn't realize that. I just, oh, okay, he's an adult, he's working, but like, wait a minute, now I'm older. It's like, wow, my father worked 13, 14 hour, 15 hour shifts so I could, me and my siblings could have a roof over our heads. Um, I didn't, like I said, I didn't grasp that back then. With that being said, like, yeah, you know that. I knew all that. I knew that they loved me. I knew all that, but maybe I take it for granted. Or maybe I would neglect it. I don't know what it was, but up until it didn't hit me till I was older. I'm like, wait a minute, my 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 parent my parents sacrificed everything, and honestly, I would want you to know that I love you a lot, you know, and that I would want you to like just to realize the sacrifices, um, you know, that I did. You know, I made my mistakes. I've talked to you about it before, where I apologized. Um, you know, I just want to tell you that I love you a lot, and you're everything to me. Um, uh, I'm here for you, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. Uh, you and I have been through this, through a couple things right now as a teenager, where whatever it could be, and it's the greatest feeling in the world when you come up to me or you tell me something, and I just want you to know that I'm here for you and that I love you a lot, and I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to, or whatever you do or say. I'm here to support you. I'm here to be by your side, and I'm here to guide you. And you know, something I've always, something that I've told you before. I'm like, you know, you're the greatest. You're the best. Uh, you're my favorite. I've told you that before. Um, you just, you know, you're the one to help mold me as a man, be a man. And you know, it, obviously it was God first, but I don't think you realize, but you changed my life, and you changed my life for the better. And I want you to know that. I want you to know that, and I want you to know that my love for you would only just be greater every day. Every day.
Um, Thank you for agreeing to this interview. Just to recap, my name is Alexia Train. I'm here with Salvador Train, my dad, and the date is December 9th, 2018, and we're recording this interview in Chicago, Illinois.